All right, Mark. Masato Kudo is now on the books for the Whitecaps. What's next? We're talking about a guy like Armando Cooper. It sounds like Renan Adels is going actually now to Peru, adding it to his long list of Latin American countries. Sadly, not going back to Bolivia's club, the strongest, my favorite world club name. But yeah, Armando Cooper. I think there's seems to be some noise about this. Whitecaps say they're not done. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, reports out of Panama, which a couple of reports now. So certainly Cooper makes sense positionally. A two-way midfielder, that's something we know the Caps are after. There's a lot to talk about Gershon Kofi for months now, that he could be transferred out to Europe. And it's a positional need, I think, that was exposed in the playoffs. I mean, Portland dominated the Caps in central midfield. They need that, that true two-way guy. They were interested in Will Johnson. There's no question. Johnson ends up in Toronto. So Cooper fits the bill in that regard. And again, the Latin American player, we know Carl Robinson likes to go there, sees value there, and they've had success recruiting from there. So certainly could see that happening. And then other priorities, right back Stephen Beitashour off to Toronto. So that's still a position I think fans are wondering, how are they going to go out and replace that? I don't think, well, I know the fans aren't content with just starting the season with Jordan Smith there.
Will Johnson, just quickly, were you surprised the Whitecaps maybe didn't push harder to try to make that happen? I know trades in the MLS are a weird thing, and in the end, there's always money all over the place that makes an impact. But
yeah, I think a couple of things here could have to do with money. Let's see when the salaries come out what he's on in Toronto. But I think probably more it had to do with Portland not wanting to answer that phone call. If they're going to trade Will Johnson, it makes sense that they don't trade him in conference, and certainly to one of their rivals. So I think that was probably the biggest stumbling block, and then perhaps money as well.
Interesting, of course, that Portland apparently owns Cooper's discovery rights, or whatever
Cooper's discovery rights.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean as much as it used to, I think, in terms of delaying these processes, because as we saw last year with the Caps getting Kristen Teixeira's rights from Toronto, it's a $50,000 fee now. The MLS, set that last year to try and resolve these issues a little more quickly when teams have a player's discovery rights, but that player is trying to negotiate with a different team.